So we were just curious. Sparked Innovation says that the Bass Blaster sounds good for any enclosure. So what about this prefab enclosure? Damn, that blue looks really cool against the black carpet. Pretty sweet. I just wanted to try a smaller box. Takes up less room, and they say that it performs in all the different kinds, so we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna be straight up with you. I don't think that box is gonna sound good with the subwoofer, but it is fun to try just to see what it would do. And I know that the right box makes a humongous difference, and those prefab boxes really don't help the Blaster's cause. This is kind of more. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. All right, man, look how cool that fits. Seat all the way back. Mike is cruising, and no touchy. Interesting, very cool. I know this isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's pretty cool, interesting. And the best part, I got plenty of room for groceries, and we can tinker with the back wall. And this is a test inside of an extended cab pickup. Maybe if it was in a trunk of a car, it would be a little bit better, but even though still, I don't think that the prefab enclosure, it's really limiting your output. So, yeah. So the final verdict on the Bass Blaster in the Scar prefab. Does it sound good? Well, surprisingly, actually, it does sound pretty good. I was bumping it last night, and we were bumping it with the testing. We've tried it in different orientations, and man, it really isn't all that bad. It sounds nice, but the one thing I will say is comparing the previous enclosure, that larger custom enclosure from Dave Marin. We did lose some output, and that is kind of, this is more like obvious knowledge, I guess. We did lose some output, and I'm just seeing a little bit less watts on the wattometer. I don't know. I know that boxes can change up your impedance rise, more efficient, more not. And the prefab, although it's not that much far off, I'm just not seeing some of the higher peak numbers that I saw with the other enclosure. The other thing is the prefab box. It just doesn't have that strong of lows, and I know that Bass Blaster is capable of giving a good strong low note punch, because in the other box the low notes were really nice, and so there's some changes when it comes to that. But if I had to give my honestly, a little bit less watts, it also could be that we are using the box terminal on this prefab enclosure, and that other box we just went a wire straight through, so there was no resistance as far as that goes to cut into the overall power that goes to the subwoofer. But so the claim is that a Bass Blaster can sound good in any enclosure. Actually, yes, it does sound really good. It sounds, that little prefab enclosure has had different subwoofers in it, and I've heard different ones, and it doesn't sound that bad. It's probably the best sounding subwoofer in that box that I've had over the years. But comparing enclosure to enclosure, I know that the Scar prefab is limiting the overall output of the Blaster itself. So we tried it in different orientations in the truck, pointing the subwoofer towards the back wall, pointing the subwoofer towards the passenger wall, pointing the subwoofer towards the driver's side wall, pointing the subwoofer forwards, and they all kind of sound very, very similar, but my cab is kind of big. It doesn't have the back seat, so I don't know. And we didn't decibel test every single one, because it was, I don't know, in and out. We're kind of just having some fun here. It wasn't like we're doing like a hard scientific test. We're just having some fun. But I guess if that's the only enclosure that your budget has, it's not the worst thing in the world. But if you were to spend just a little bit more money, or pivot your budget into buying the wood, getting a box design, and building it yourself, if you're capable of doing that, that would be the better route to go. Building something that accentuates the woofer instead of limits the subwoofer, if that makes any sense. But if that's the only combo you have, then it's not half bad. It's just not as good, if that makes sense. Now, one good prefab that I do enjoy are the Down for Sound Profabs, and those are downforsoundshop.com. Those are built really well, designed really well, and they have a lot of cool different orientations. If they have one that works for you that's in stock, jump on it, bro, because they are pretty darn good boxes for the money. You can't complain with that. And the Bass Blaster itself, you guys know you can get the Bass Blaster over at sparkedinnovations.com. You can use coupon code Bangin' Bros and get a discount on all the sizes from 10 to 18. And I think they just lowered the prices too, just recently. So that's a great chance to bass blast the summer away with the blue surround, you feel me? Yeah. So hey, the Bass Blaster, through this test, it gets a thumbs up from me. Not half bad, but not as good. I guess that's kind of what it is. But hey, I was banging a bunch of different music yesterday, from rock music to Hispanic music to EDM music to obviously rap music, and it didn't sound bad at all. I just noticed a difference in output, and it is what it is. What do you expect? That box is rather inexpensive versus a custom enclosure is a little bit more. So, well, I hope that was slightly insightful for anybody who is trying to do something like that. And I know it isn't the number one choice for a lot of people as well, but it is fun, and I wanted to show you guys what would happen and kind of give my feedback on it. So I hope it entertained you, and I hope you might have learned one little thing about it. Yeah, so hey, I appreciate you watching, and if you could, double tap this video, leave a comment if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. But don't forget to follow Bangin' Bros on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and follow Bangin' with Micah, because he's got his own little build going with the 415s. I know if you follow the Instagram and TikTok, you saw that. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, on to the next project. See you guys later. Thank you for watching.